welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
Now, Nelson, before you get to your quick thing,
Okay.
because I'm looking forward to the quick thing, obviously.
I have not guaranteed to have a quick thing every week, but we'll see.
But before you get to your quick thing, and I don't want to derail the show too much,
Yeah.
but obviously we sit in silence while the theme plays because we don't want to have to do too much.
Yeah.
So we have to be as silent as possible.
Yes.
And I mistakenly decided to take a big old gulp of water during
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And I don't know if you noticed this, but I
Yeah.
was holding back because I really needed to choke. Immediately I was like, gulp, oh no, it went down.
Here we go. Yeah.
So, yeah, if you had have looked over to me, you would have seen me just like
Yeah.
watering at the eyes, straining not to make a noise. Because then we would have had to play it again, and he's got time for that.
Yeah, we got things to do. Quick things to get to, Cambo.
Great.
Like this, for example.
What a segue.
Example of a quick thing. Okay. This week, okay, but I drove past a florist.
Is your quick thing every week going to be a store that you've seen?
It just so happened this week. Hey, first week you accused me that it was a shower thought, and I think I've proved that it's not.
Okay.
This week just happens to be about
Yeah.
another
I just think
store.
you're attacking small business.
Yeah,
You're
well-
like, chocolate store, shut that down. Is
Yeah.
this going to be florist, shut that down?
I think so. Drove past a florist.
Yes.
It was a 24-hour florist. Is that... what do you need a 24-hour florist for?
I don't know what part of Melbourne you were in, but there's a 24-hour florist on the west side of Melbourne.
Oh, right. This was
And it had long been a joke of what do you need a 24-hour florist for? It's obviously a drug front.
right. Okay.
But the thing is, it turned out to be a drug front.
Oh, okay.
There was a big raid and it had millions of dollars worth of drugs out the back.
Oh, my God.
So I dare say it's the same thing.
They
because-
just opened up another one. Be like, this time we won't.
We used to work next to a very successful pub, and across the road, a very quiet pub that stayed open miraculously for years and years that we're all pretty sure is a drug front.
Yeah.
And I think if it seems like a drug front, I would say chances are it is.
Okay. But surely they wouldn't do the same thing twice. Like, oh.
That's what the cops are thinking.
And oh my God, this is genius. But a 24-hour florist is unbelievably suspicious.
Yeah.
It's not even a good cover.
Yeah, because 100% of 24-hour florists that I've ever heard of have turned out to be drug fronts.
Yeah.
So now I'm being introduced to this next one,
Yeah.
and the data would suggest it's also a drug front.
Here's what I think we should do. We should play a little game. You tell me reasons why people might need flowers at 2 a.m. in the morning, and I'll tell you why that's not
It
true.
can only be for affairs.
For affairs.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, I need to get...
You're like coming home late after you've had an affair, and you're like, oh my God, I need to get something. I need to get her flowers or something. She's going to be pissed.
Oh, for the wife.
Either
or
or.
both.
Either or, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I guess if they do delivery as well, you could be sending flowers to your mistress at any time of night.
Yeah. Do you think it's required though?
But like in a more serious answer, it must be for larger corporate events and stuff. Like a last minute, like, say you've got some event and you need like floral arrangements for tables or something en masse. And you've only got 24 hours to arrange it. Some venues dropped out or
during
whatever.
the day. What? Well, I can imagine a florist working during the night.
Yeah, so that's what I, yeah.
But I imagine I could call any florist, right? And I'm like, man, I've got this huge order to put in. And I'm obviously going to pay a decent amount of money. Like, this is obviously going to be a top tier order because it's so urgent. I imagine they'd be like, yeah, sure. We'll obviously do that throughout the night. We don't have to be a 24-hour florist in order to work past our official closing hours.
Is it cleverer to order your flowers closer to like midnight? Because if you go in during the day, surely other people are also ordering flowers, then there might be a wait.
Okay.
If you jump on the phone, order your thing of flowers and go there, it's ready to pick up by the time you get there because they've got no other orders coming in at midnight, surely.
Yeah, okay. It's just an efficiency thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Save time lining up by ordering your flowers at 2 a.m.
Should we at some point, maybe for a future podnapping,
Yeah.
do this show late at night? Call the florist.
Order some flowers.
I'd be like, what are you doing? Like right now, what are you doing? Are you making flowers right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Surely you can't be making flowers right now.
Yeah.
And if you are, what are they for?
Why? Yeah. Bouquet. I just imagine some dude making bouquets in the middle of the night. Sit up for tomorrow. It's insane. Anyway, if you would like flowers, write in. We're about to order some. All right, let's get into it, Camber. This first Reddit on Reddit is by Howling Badger 43, and it was in the subreddit True Off My Chest.
All right. Okay. So this will be some kind of dark confession.
Dark confession. Yep. This is the title.
Just quickly, with True Off My Chest. Presumably there was r/off my chest.
Yeah.
And then there's been a splinter group being like, this isn't.
Yeah,
I want more confessional stuff.
I think it wasn't moderated as well.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it exists anymore, actually,
It's
because
just
I think
been-
True Off My Chest overtook.
Yeah,
and then-
because I've only seen True Off My Chest.
Yeah. I think that's what happened. Anywho. Oh my God, Cambo, the computer's listening to us. There's an ad for flowers.
Oh no.
This is scary. Okay, the title is, Every year I get blackout drunk on Easter. I've always loved Easter egg hunts. Not where you thought it was going, did it? I'm a grown man now with no kids, and every year I drink way too much the night before Easter and hide a bunch of chocolate around the house for myself to find when I roll out of bed in the morning, not remembering where I put them. Don't judge me. I just love finding eggs.
Yeah, this took a much more pleasant turn.
I know. Yeah.
Because I think everybody that heard that title was going in expecting, I hate my family. I don't want to put up with them. If I just drink to excess, I can sleep through the day.
Or someone I knew died on Easter, and I try to get as drunk as possible so I don't remember that day. Or Jesus, obviously, he died.
Or Rose.
Well,
it depends what day you're talking about.
Yeah, maybe you really hated him, and you're like, no, he's back again.
But this ended up being equal parts like irresponsible and whimsical.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Like, I'm not sure if I should encourage it. I love it, but it seems irresponsible to encourage.
It's like the first part of you is like, it seems harmless. And then you're like, well, not harmless. He's obviously doing immense harm to his liver.
Like, to get blackout drunk is
Blackout
pretty
drunk.
hard.
No memory whatsoever. Even if I get quite drunk, I still kind of remember.
Yeah. At what point do you think you'd be suitably drunk that you can hide the eggs, but then not remember the next morning?
The problem, my fear would be if I wanted to execute this plan and I got that drunk, and then I woke up the next morning, I'm like, I wonder where I hid the eggs. And I'm looking. I'm like, I really hid these eggs.
Yeah.
And then I find them like still in a packet in the drawer. And you're like, oh, I got so drunk I forgot to hide the eggs.
That would be my problem as well. Or I imagine I've put them in a basket beforehand, ready to easily get out and hide around the apartment. And I've fallen over and they've just scattered across the floor.
The other, there's so many ways this could go wrong for me. Because the other one is I wake up after being blackout drunk.
Yeah.
And I get up and I go through to my main living area or whatever. And there's just packets of foil from all the eggs. Because I got so drunk last night. I was like, I want a bunch of Easter eggs.
Yeah. Oh, man, give me all this chocolate right now.
It's such a tightrope walk that he must... You need to have hidden the eggs at a certain amount of drunkenness.
Yeah.
But then continue to get more drunk afterwards to black out and forget.
Yeah. Do you know what would be the most concerning? Is if you woke up and couldn't find one egg.
Yeah.
It's not that you look in the drawer and you
Yeah,
haven't
it's not
opened the
there,
packets.
yeah.
There's just nothing. Like, oh my God, where did I hide these?
You look across the road and your neighbor's window has like you smash through the window with your fist. You look down at your fist and it's just bleeding. Like,
Yeah. And then down the road in every house there's a
I
smashed
think I did a
window.
series of B and E's. But in this circumstance, I guess the E stands for egg. Breaking and eggering.
And eggering. I love the idea that if there was any children, they're like, it's the Easter Bunny. But sort of true. Like it really did leave eggs out.
Mom, the Easter Bunny smashed our front window.
Yeah. There's just a neat pile, like ornately put together pile of eggs.
Handwritten note.
Yeah.
But then trails of blood away.
Yeah. But it's not written to the kid either. It's like, dear sober Nelson, happy Easter, love drunk Nelson. I love this idea though of just getting so blackout drunk and sort of surprising yourself.
Yeah.
I think you could do this. Like you're an amazing musician, or maybe storyteller. You're an author, and you're like, I hate everybody's work. I only like my own. But it's so boring that I write the stories and know like the twists and turns at the end. I think you could do the same thing. Get super drunk, write a short story, wake up in the morning and read it.
Yeah, okay. I think you'd need to dictate it to someone for this to properly work.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd be like squinting to try and make out what you've written. But if you like, you just held court and there was like some, I don't know, I was going to say stenographer, but that's for courts. But like a scribe. Someone scribing down your thoughts, and then they just take out all the hiccups and the they fix the slurring.
Yeah,
or if you repeat yourself, which you tend to do when you're drunk.
Yeah. All the total nonsense. Maybe they have to put it together as well, because you're like, okay, so it starts in a supermarket. But like towards the end, there's going to be a guy that's actually the brother of this.
Because even the best authors in the world have editors.
Yeah.
Like an editor's like a publishing editor is every author in the world has a publishing editor.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with having someone fix up some of your, you know that bit you said about the end. I'm thinking we'll put that at the end. Yeah, man. That's what I pay you for.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. You're thinking.
Do you?
And then this guy comes and he's dead. Oh no, wait, no, you don't know he's dead till the end. Hang on a sec. Yeah. Do that at the end.
I think it's a solid plan. I think it wouldn't work for us with this podcast, obviously, particularly yourself, because you quite often forget this podcast as soon as it's done anyway.
Yep.
It must be like a great.
I don't remember what your first quick thing was. I remember the one from last week was the chocolate store, but I've forgotten the first one already.
It was that the past tense of blink was blanc.
Oh, yeah. Why did I forget that?
Oh, yeah,
Why
like
did
you're
I
so
forget
disappointed with it. It's genius. I've been thinking about it every time I've needed to say the word blinked. It hasn't been that often. I still think it's good. Anyway, let's get into Ask Reddit.
Okay.
Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit is by Peachy Maria. You meet yourself from 10 years in the future. You get to ask them one question. What do you ask them?
One question.
Yep.
So it needs to be good.
This is what happens. You ask the question.
Uh-huh.
They give you the answer. Then poof, you're back.
Yeah. The problem is, I think to make this work, you would need to have made a pact with yourself, I think, to have like a keyword. Mm-hmm. Like say, for instance, he pops up and I go, stock? And he says the name of a company.
Yeah,
it's done well.
Yeah. I mean, you could say, hey, what company should I invest stock in?
but like he knows that it's going to be a stock question.
Yeah.
I'm trying, like the drunk hiding of eggs, I need to think of how I would screw this up for myself.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm the one from the future.
Yeah.
And I appear in front of me 10 years from the past. And he goes, what stock? I'm like, I forgot to check. I haven't been keeping track of it. Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Or I like the idea that, you say something like, GameStop or something. Mm-hmm. And then, and say, obviously, let's say the person in the past is doing this. So it gets to the point and they're like, oh, GameStop. Okay, I'll invest in that. But then I haven't told them like at what point to sell. Uh-huh. And I think it'd be funny if they're like, oh, like there's still that dilemma of like, but how long should I hold on to it?
Yeah.
Like, is this enough or does it go up again?
I like to think of the monkey's paw, right? Like whenever you make a wish on the monkey's paw, it has a consequence that you hadn't thought of. And I love the idea that being like, you can ask your future self one question. So future Nelson appears and you say, what stock should I buy? But they don't actually get to answer. They disappear. It's like, you did ask him the question. We never said that they would answer the question.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Cambo, this is what I do. I go into the future. I look at my future self. He's in a high-rise fancy office building. He presses a button on his telephone and he says, assistant, hold my calls. I give him a nod and then he nods back. And then we go into a secret room that he's built. And inside that room is 10 years of future. I haven't asked my question yet, Cambo, because I'm me from the future. So I know this is coming. I've spent years documenting things to invest in, certain things to look out for, people to make friends with, you know, and then manipulated that. And then I say at the very end, we cool? And I go, we cool. And then I disappear and go back into the past.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I guess the inverse of that would have to be that if you knew this was going to happen in the future, is if the future you comes back to the past, you need to bring it with you, I guess. The documentation.
Yeah, I could. I mean,
because you're talking about present you going to the future.
Yeah.
But if future you comes to the present, you still need to be able to get that information off yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, he could just tell me all of it, I guess. Which, honestly, again, like you, the flaw would be like, yeah, I did all this research and stuff, but I only vaguely remember now.
I don't know how I got so rich, I'll be honest. I'm rich now in the future because of what you did. But I don't really know what you did, to be honest with you. I kind of blanked out.
Don't you think realistically all you'd have to do, right, is if you knew in 10 years yourself is going to ask you something, you could just, the next biggest lottery, we have ones that are like 30 million. I know in the US they have like hundreds of millions, like jackpot, which is nuts. But you know, you get like a $30 million, $50 million one.
There's one coming up for 25 million just this week.
Right, yeah. And so you just memorize those numbers as best you can
for that week's
thing.
Yeah.
And you say, this week, these numbers.
Okay, so what you
and it
do,
could be a very soon one, right? Like if you knew.
Well, I think this is what you do when it happens to you, right? Present day Nelson, future Nelson comes and says, "These are the numbers for the lottery," and you write them down.
Yeah,
and then next week you get them tattooed on your arm the week of the lottery.
Yeah,
and you confirm that they are the winning numbers because It's funny because you need to confirm it by winning to then verify it to your future self to bring it back. But essentially, that way, even if you won, you'll never forget them because they're tattooed on your arm.
Tattooed on you. Yeah, that's right. Wait, but then how do I memorize them I know I haven't asked the question yet.
Well, because
my future self just holds out his arm.
Yeah.
And I spend hours memorizing it. I write it down.
No,
I can obviously write it down.
Present day, you can write it down.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the problem is, present day you wins the lottery, but you need to remember the numbers you won with for 10 years.
I get it. Yeah. Should we be doing more altruistic things?
No, Nelson. No. Take care of ourselves first.
Yeah.
Obviously. That we can do altruistic stuff once we've won the lottery.
Okay. So first, you tattoo winning numbers.
Yeah.
Then you tattoo dates of terrorist bombing. You end up like the guy in Memento.
But Nelson, this is the brilliant bit.
You travel back and you just take off all your clothes.
This is the brilliant bit about the tattoo, right?
Yeah.
You tattoo the winning numbers, right?
Yeah.
And then when you come back, they hold out their arm and you write down the numbers, but you still have one question to ask them because that's not the question.
Yeah.
So you're like, with the winnings, what do I then invest in?
Oh, genius.
And then you're going to triple your money.
Yeah. And then I say, it doesn't matter. The world ends 3 weeks after you win the lottery. There's literally nothing you can do about it.
I'm one of the only survivors, and money is meaningless.
Oh. But anyway, I still did the tattoo thing. That'd be disappointing, wouldn't it? Anywho, here's another one, Cambo. This is by Toxic Tornadoes. Master Yoda arrives at your house and gives you a lightsaber. He tells you that Darth Vader is coming for you and you have 1 week before you must face him. What do you do?
Okay.
You're a Star Wars fanboy, Camber. You've obviously thought about this.
Yep. Well, I would use my knowledge of the Star Wars films against him, obviously.
Yep.
Because people, I think when they're trying to take down Darth Vader, they're thinking like epic, like you bomb everything and you trap him like a rat and you brute force.
Right. Okay.
And then I'm going to go strategic.
No.
I'm going to go all the way back to Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
In a bit that's become very infamous, in which Anakin, before he was Darth Vader, talks about how much he hates sand.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm talking sand everywhere, Nelson.
It's so coarse,
Throw him
right?
off.
Doesn't he say something like that?
So coarse, and it gets everywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna
so you're in the middle of a desert.
Bury him in sand.
Okay.
Because then he's going to be freaking out. I reckon I can sneak up on him fairly unawares.
Yeah, I imagine. Well, I think if, you were in a desert of sorts and he knew where you are and he's coming to kill you, his breathing apparatus would get clogged full of sand in the slightest winds.
Yeah.
And you got him. He just chokes to death. Ha! He chokes to death.
And then I think even then, just to be secure, I would stand on the higher ground. Because that seems to be how Obi-Wan Kenobi won that battle, is just by being on the higher ground.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, I'm on the higher ground and you're full of sand, mate. And he'd be like, you win.
Yeah.
And then he'd just kind of, fly
he walks away.
Yeah.
Other tropes that
Yoda has taught you well.
Other tropes you could go with. Claim that your mother's name is Martha.
Yeah. Or Padme, his wife. I reckon that would throw him off.
Oh.
He was very distraught by the death of Padme.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, how's Padme?
He just cries.
Yeah.
What if you really threw him off? You said Padme's alive, and he's like, "Oh my god!
Oh,
I've gone to this other universe to kill you, but you've thrown me through a loop."
Yeah. What was his mother? You want to throw everything at him. What was his? I think his mother's name was like Shmi Skywalker or something.
Shmi, really?
It was something
from
like
Hook.
That's probably wrong, but learn his mother's name. Like, first of all, my mum's name's this. Second of all, Padme's alive. Third of all, sand.
Yeah.
Pull the rope. Two big things of sand come on.
There's just a bucket of sand above him.
Fourth thing, I'm going to get up onto this high ground. Oh, mate, you've beat him in every single way.
Just got
I didn't need the lightsaber.
Don't have these in the Star Wars universe, do they? Yeah, it's actually almost too easy.
Also, Star Wars is set a long, long time ago. So by the time he gets to me, he's very old.
He's so old.
Yeah.
You know what the other thing is, I think, is machine gun.
Oh, yeah.
You can deflect lasers with a lightsaber that's a laser sword, right? You're deflecting all those bolts. But I reckon iron, I think you could just...
I reckon he could still Neo it, like put his hand out and stop the bullets, though.
Yeah, but how many?
Oh, okay, Nelson, I need your help.
And he's got a bucket of sand all over him.
I think I need your help.
Yeah.
Because what will happen, right? I do my mum's name is this, Padme's alive, sand, I'm on the high ground. And he's like, I'm for stopping the bullets or whatever, but this whole time you sneak up behind with a second machine gun into the back.
He doesn't think about the second machine gun.
You're on the lower ground.
Yeah.
He thought he had the low ground advantage.
And I'm pretty sure I've just realized as well, in the Star Wars universe, your hands need to be free to use the Force. They always put a hand out whenever they're doing something, right?
Yeah.
I've only just realized that, actually, that it's very tailored towards hand gestures. I think then we need three of us just in case.
Yeah, We'll rope in Stacey.
Yeah. She's got,
third machine gun?
Yeah, third machine gun. And why not grenades, actually? Throw a couple of grenades in.
Throw a grenade.
You could force push them back. Yeah, but how many could he do?
Yeah, because the thing about the machine gun that we liked is the quantity of bullets.
Yeah.
That would come in such a short time.
Yeah. So quantity, if you can get a large quantity of grenades, that will also work. It has to be a large
lot of
quantity.
grenades.
Yeah.
A lot of grenades.
Yeah. Can he push multiple objects at once? Maybe we only need 3 grenades to throw at him.
He's quite powerful. He probably could. That's why we need to emotionally distract him as well.
Yeah. I have played the Star Wars game, and there is a force meter, as in, like, if you use the force too much, you run out of force power.
Right, okay.
So we just need to work what level he's up to.
Oh, he's full.
Oh, my God. Here's another scenario, Canberra, of how you could do this.
Yeah.
Yoda comes up to you, arrives at your house, gives you the lightsaber. He says, "Your Darth Vader's coming for you." He is. Yeah. And I go, "Oh no! Thanks for the lightsaber." Kill Yoda.
Yeah, obviously.
Darth Vader comes here. I go, "I will absolutely go over to the dark side."
You have no challenge from me, my lord.
Yeah, I
bow down.
You have no idea how easy this sort of exchange is. In fact, I've been waiting for you for a week just to tell you that I'm ready to come over the dark side.
I love the Imperial March. Dun, 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 dun. I love it. I'm all about it.
You've got so many more guys. Also, I have a little hint about exhaust pipes for you.
Lock them up.
Yeah.
I know you think not. Like you're like, oh, one won't harm it. That's how they're gonna get you.
Yeah, I've seen the movie done. Just so easy. Nobody wants to fight for the light side.
No.
Name the coolest force thing.
The coolest force thing.
Yeah. That like
I'm trying to think
with
of
the
one.
way in which people use the force.
Yeah.
Name the coolest one.
Well, the problem is I'm trying to think of one that isn't also just applicable to the dark side.
No, that's my point. Just name the coolest one.
It's probably just moving objects, isn't it? Oh no, it's the I think it's the mind trick.
Oh, mind trick.
The Jedi mind.
Oh, no, see, that's boring.
this-
See, I think lightning from the fingers. That's cool as shit.
Yeah, but I'd be like, stop doing that, Nelson.
Yeah. But then I would be force choking you. Also, so you couldn't even talk.
Stop doing that.
Yeah. Can't hear you. And then with my other hand, Canberra,
Zap, zap, zap.
because I've got 2, and that's how the force works. Shooting lightning out of one hand, choking you with the other. You
That's
idiot.
pretty good. It's pretty good.
You're next to a dead Yoda, and I've got Darth Vader on my side. I think I've won.
I think you have one.
Okay. Here's. Oh wait, how many have we done of these?
We should probably move on.
Oh, we've done 2. We've done 2. Okay. Yeah. Let's go into. Let's go into today our advice. So now it's time for today I learned. Today I learned. And also sometimes advice. This advice is by Summertime 11. I wonder if it's that song. Summertime.
I think that was a pretty.
Is easy.
Oh wait, you were thinking of a different song.
Oh, what were you thinking of?
There's another song called "Summertime."
How's it go?
In the summertime, that is where I'll be. By Thirsty
Baby,
Merc.
in the summertime.
Yeah, but that Thirsty Merc, I think, were a pretty exclusively Australian band, weren't they?
No. No, I was thinking of. Is it Rita Hayworth? Did I just make that up?
Rita Hayworth was an actress.
Oh, actress. No. Yeah. I'm thinking of. Anyway,
It's probably not.
this is relevant.
It was. If it's anyone, it was definitely Thirsty Merc, the Australian band that was big for about 9 months in the early 2000s.
Ella Fitzgerald.
Oh, right. Yeah, Ella Fitzgerald.
Pretty close. What did I say? Rita Hayworth?
Yeah.
Anywho, that's irrelevant to this. They've asked. This one's actually sort of a bit more serious.
Okay.
But be fun with it,
Okay. If it's about Ella Fitzgerald, your theory is confirmed.
Yeah, okay. Is it okay if your only goal in life is to be happy, have fun, and try not to hurt people along the way?
Yes. That's completely fine.
Oh, okay.
Do you not agree with that? You just seem surprised. Like, I understand that not everyone necessarily should have that goal, but I think it's fine. Like, I think it's weird to put stuff on people if that's not what makes them happy.
Well, I think the only way I actually can see this point of view, right, is because you're right. I only literally see one other like objection to this, which is that should you put effort into helping other people,
Right.
rather than just solely focusing on yourself. It says, try not to hurt people, but that I see is different to helping somebody, going out of your way to helping somebody. Because I think there's like interesting sort of idea. And so for us, right, like, I know I've spoken about it, and I think you sort of may have agreed in the past. Even thinking of something small, like I've said, if I ever win the lottery, I don't actually want to tell anyone.
Yeah.
But is that morally right of me? Because I could probably still help people without telling them. But I think like my idea is like I wouldn't spend that money because I don't want anybody to know. So even though I have this, I'm happy. I'm maybe set for life.
It's
like,
the characteristic you most share with Smaug the dragon, which is to hoard your wealth and sit on it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Breathe fire on those who come to try and claim it.
I've only just realized that's exactly what I'm going to do with my millions of dollars.
Because when we went to see The Hobbit together and Bilbo broke into the tomb, you're like, leave him alone, Bilbo! Leave his money alone!
Yeah. It's not yours. You get that fair and square. Bloody leech. But yeah, so I'm wondering if there's like a moral obligation to
help others.
To help others. And even just I'm not saying if you're a millionaire or whatever, but even just us, everyday people that have it probably better than a lot.
I think there is if you have the means to.
Okay.
Like it's a scalable thing. Mm-hmm. If you don't have much money, maybe you can donate a bit of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a scalable thing.
Yeah.
Maybe if billionaires paid their taxes,
it
would be less needed.
Yeah, just do that. Like the rest of us.
Because if they just did that, there would be less need for anyone to help.
Yeah.
Like there's all these calculations about if Amazon paid their taxes, how much it would almost wipe out homelessness in America.
Yeah.
Because you could afford all this housing and stuff.
Funnel it into these sort of areas. Yeah.
So that's a whole different point.
Yeah.
That's not what this thing brought up.
Yeah.
But I think as a baseline, this is fine because it doesn't hinder or hurt anyone either. Mm-hmm. Which I think as a baseline, you should aim to go higher and help people. Yeah. But I don't think anyone should tear you down for keeping the baseline. You know what I mean? This is getting straight C's in school. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Look, you could get A's. You probably could and you probably should, but C's will get you there.
Yeah. So it's okay.
I'm
like, not that I want to commit to this at all, because this is sort of how I think I live my life at the moment anyway, to some degree. But I sort of disagree with it. Because I think that, like, maybe you should and be a bit more obligated. And I think that, like this selfishness has almost come from, oh God, this is gonna make me sound really sort of crazy, but I think it's come from like capitalism and owning things. And it's like, I mean, we've spoken about before actually how, man, wouldn't it just be great if people just cared a bit more about other people, you know?
If Amazon just paid their taxes.
Yeah, exactly. And it wasn't just about themselves. And so I think that our mentality should be, when somebody asks this question, it should be, no, it's not okay to do that. It's not okay just to live for yourself. Even though we all want to. We all just want that to be the way it is. But I think morally, we should question that and say, don't always live for yourself. And I don't really know what that means because obviously there's a huge caliber of like, well, I can help an old lady across the road. How long does that get me?
I understand the sentiment, and to a point, I agree with you. But again, it's scalable and applicable in different situations because that is not to say you can't ever be selfish. Mm-hmm. You might be out and go, you know what? I want a chocolate bar. And then the selfless thing to do would be like, well, you know what? I should get someone else a chocolate bar because that's a really nice thing to do.
Right.
But you still can get yourself a chocolate bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
that's. I'm not saying you have to replace it.
yeah.
But
So that's what I'm trying to say is
yeah.
when you said you might sound a bit crazy.
Yeah.
I think to in case anyone hadn't picked up.
Yeah.
You're not advocating for nothing but selflessness all the time.
Yeah.
Just occasional selfless acts.
Yeah. But there almost needs to be a scale. If I'm saying that I think people should, there sort of needs to be like a bar set, right? Mm-hmm. Because otherwise, I don't know, maybe there doesn't. But like, I feel as though like I'm probably personally not doing enough for somebody who gets by pretty well.
Yeah.
And I actually notice a lot more because I'm in the city a lot more because I've moved much closer, and I see a lot of homeless people. I'm like, I feel like I could be more often like, I don't know, given some coins. I never have money on me, which is part of the problem. I don't know how homeless people are surviving in this day and age.
In
the
cashless
past, like
society.
Yeah, 5-10 years when we've all like just got PayWave on our phone and stuff like that's
especially
all
the
it is.
last 12 months.
Yeah, exactly.
In which cash is just germs incarnate.
Yeah. I don't know how they're like, you know, surviving more.
Like
now,
we saw Stacey's sister today, and she was saying that she recently just brought an appliance and she paid in cash, and we're all commenting how weird that is.
Yeah.
Just that you brought something with cash is so odd.
Yeah.
That isn't just like, I don't know, a few dollars or something, you know.
I had to pay at a restaurant, and we actually sat down, had some drinks, and then it was time to pay. We got that card, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, our machine's broken. We can only take Amex for some weird reason, but otherwise you need cash." And we were like, "This is a weird thing to not tell people as they sit down."
Yeah.
Maybe 20 years ago that would be fine. But now it's kind of like, you should probably tell people. And then just by chance, I had some money on me because I withdrew some because I was like, I might need to split bills. And so I had some. But I was like, that's so nuts. And then we weren't even close to like an ATM. You know, sometimes like, but you know, it's fine if you just, we've got one round the corner.
Yeah.
It was like, you'd have to drive to get to the ATM. And, I was like, that's insane.
Yeah. It's crazy poor planning.
But yeah,
I also think, and I don't want what I'm about to say to come off as virtual signaling in any way, especially about myself. But I think that sometimes you get rewarded for things that are not exemplary and I think should be the standard. Mm-hmm. So the example being that I was in the supermarket a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And there was a group of people lining up for like the express checkout section. And as we were all lining up, 2 schoolgirls came through and they were starting to walk straight through. Like obviously hadn't seen the line.
Yeah.
And then someone had called out. This is what they had said. They said, "Hey, slags, get to the back of the line."
Whoa.
And I don't know why I did this, but I took my mask off at the time.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
turned around and I said, "Don't call them slags."
Yeah.
And then he said, "Turn around."
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
Anyway, these poor girls kind of like stepped aside and I went through. But then as I was there, everyone else in line came up and said thank you to me, which is
really?
nice.
Yeah.
But also that shouldn't be
Yeah.
that's not necessarily like an outstanding. That should just be the norm. People should be like, "Hey, don't call the young girl slags."
Yeah.
Like it's not like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I feel like I got praise for that and I don't think I necessarily should have because I think it's just kind of the standard of what anyone should have done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's funny how that is. And I think, like that's such it's a good thing to do. And it reminds me of another time. And I think being in a supermarket or, it is a maybe safer environment. But like one time I was with some friends who are of Asian descent, Chinese descent. So they've lived in Australia their whole lives, but that's just what they look like. And so we were walking out on the Melbourne streets one day, and there's this drunk guy that was like, "Hey, ching chongs" or something, and they just ignored him and was
kind of racist,
just like general racist stuff, and was like, "Oh, what? Don't understand me?" or so, like said some bullshit. I was like, I'm so angry, but I didn't say anything because I was like, well, this dude's drunk. I actually didn't know how my friends would want to react
Yeah,
because I was
yeah.
like, I don't want to
Yeah.
start something and then be.
It's hard to do it on people's behalf. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, that's right. I think my friend did say like, oh, dickhead, but like sort of under his breath and while we were a little bit away. But that kind of annoys me too because like I think about that now. I'm like, I wanted to say something and I feel like I should have said something. But also I didn't want to get beaten up or my friends beaten up or something. And he was like with other friends who he wasn't just by himself.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, but yeah, I mean, I think that is, I would say, on par with this thing. Like sometimes you need to call shit out.
Yeah.
And that can be part of you being a little bit selfless. You know, it doesn't have to be grand, just doesn't have to be monetary. It doesn't have to be whatever. It can just be sort of.
But if people do want to be selfless monetarily towards us, we're not going to say no.
Yeah. In fact, do it. Otherwise, you're a selfless piece of trash. It also reminded me, actually, I think Hazem told us of a time where he was telling somebody off for not wearing a mask. And they were
called
like,
him a nerd.
they said, yeah, they called him a nerd, which is such a weird sort of, insult to say.
Yeah.
But then obviously Hazem being a doctor was able to like retort even better than probably we were, saying like, do you know how many patients I've seen today because of COVID, and like F you. But yeah. Call people out, is what we're saying. I feel like this is dangerous and we're going to have some people write in and be like, yeah,
Call people out online, namelessly.
yeah, anonymously. Yeah. Anyway. All right, let's move on to shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
This shower thought is by Schneeko6. An ice cream man's success is literally defined by how well they can lure children out of their houses with treats.
I find there's certain aspects of life I find funny in their like contradictory nature. This
Yeah.
being one of them. The other one I've always thought was weird is that if you're near a theme park and you hear kids screaming, you're like, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
That sounds really fun.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The more screams, the better.
Yeah, that's right. Haunted house.
Yeah.
These are perfect places to kill people. So just before I read this, I kind of laughed to myself while the intro was playing, that you probably saw. And because I thought, should my question to Cambo be, if you had to lure children out, but you couldn't use treats, how would you do it? Is that a bad question to ask on a podcast?
Why am I luring? Is it
for you trying to get them vaccinated?
Okay, good. Yeah. At least it's for a noble purpose.
Yeah. That's okay. I've cleared it. We're fine. We're fine.
No treats. If they're young teens, I think I'm doing something Minecraft.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
The Minecraft jab.
Yeah. Oh, the Minecraft jab.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be like, you take this jab, you're good at Minecraft.
Yeah.
Vaccinated.
Yeah.
And then, because I can disappoint them afterwards, I'm like, go the hell home. There's no Minecraft here. Get out of here.
Yeah. Bloody idiots.
Yeah.
You kids will fall for anything. Yeah, that's right. You could be like, oh, Ninja got this.
Yeah.
You know, Ninja off Twitch. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the one that David Dobrik got. I'm like, actually, don't follow him. It turns out he's an asshole. Jab.
Wouldn't that be such a funny thing? Mom and Dad, I got jabbed. Some guy injected me with a vaccination.
Well,
it would be
no,
one of
here's
those
the thing.
ones where you need to get the boosters later on. You have to lure them to your van again. 6 months later.
The problem is, I don't feel confident enough for this teenager to explain to their parents adequately what I've done. Because they'd be like, this guy took me and he stabbed me with a needle.
Yeah.
And then if I'm a parent, I'm freaking
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
And I don't want
Oh my
angry
God.
parents storming up to my... So I need to give them a certificate.
Yeah.
To be like, show this to your parents.
I've been vaccinated. But in 3 months' time, I need to do it again.
But in 3 months' time, we're having a Minions party to commemorate.
Yeah, it's much harder to get them the next time, isn't it? The first time, you're like, I imagine you've got a false back to your van that's like decorated in Minecraft, and you go come through this door, and through the door is just one single steel chair bolted to the floor and a single light hanging down over them. You've got a huge syringe. Start with the syringe.
Yeah.
Next time, way harder to get them back in.
Yeah.
I think You just need to follow the trends, though, I guess.
Yeah, I got to keep my ear to the ground of what's cool and trendy.
Yeah. What do kids want to be part of? You know, like, could you, like, maybe around Christmas, dress up a Santa?
Okay.
You get kids trying to get onto
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you go, oh, what do you want for Christmas? And they say, I want a toy bike. And you go, well, you're getting a vaccination. And
The
you
problem
stab
is-
them with a needle.
The problem is, this is such murky water that even though our theoretical vaccination of
we
kids...
are giving hints to people.
but even though our theoretical thing is giving vaccination to kids, which is a good thing, it still feels wrong to be doing it.
Yeah.
Like, because they'd be like, say you got arrested, which
Yeah.
you would. And they're like, why were you dressed up as Santa luring kids into your van?
Yeah.
And you said, I was trying to vaccinate them. And they're like, why did you choose this way to do that?
yeah. I'm sure with education and, you know.
You could have set up a general practitioner office somewhere.
Yeah. Their parents aren't even anti-vaxxers. There's literally no reason for you to need to do this. Yeah, but we'd be like, yeah, but we just wanted to know that we could.
It's a bit of a social experiment to YouTube.
Yeah, we're filming the whole thing. How to secretly get kids
yeah.
vaccinated.
You can't use that as evidence against us, can you? All that footage that we've taken?
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on from that incriminating shower thought.
I just think to, let's say 20 years down the path, maybe this podcast is just an absolute husk of itself, but one of us is decided that we want more in our life and have entered some kind of public figurehood, and someone could just so easily edit that out of context, that last section,
Yeah.
and put it online.
Yeah, that's right. We'll have to guarantee to not do that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Here's another one. This is by Untitled Redditor 12. It's strange how depicting the creation of a human is considered more taboo than depicting the destruction of one.
Yeah, this has been a big thing about especially the American rating board for films.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Is that violence is often overlooked. So in a PG-13, which is like their you could take kids and stuff to it.
Yeah.
You can show people die pretty violent and like whatnot deaths. Obviously, they can't be too gruesome.
Yeah.
But you cannot show any form of sex whatsoever.
Yeah.
And there's even rules like cunnilingus is like, no. You can't show that at all.
Yeah,
In any
right.
circumstance, or it's X.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of weird rules like that, and it's always about sex.
Yeah.
And it's because the church has their hands so firmly inside the rating board in America specifically
Right.
that depictions of, violence. Church does violence all the time. They do crusades and stuff.
Yeah.
But like anything that's like non-procreational sex is like off the books.
Yeah. That seems really interesting because I actually read the comments, and the first comment is by somebody called The Reindeer, and they've said, this is not the same in every culture.
Yeah.
And then, people have commented, yeah, my first thought is this is a very American take. But is there an element, I can't imagine in any other culture, and obviously I'm very westernized in general, but porn is more acceptable than any other. Like, obviously, maybe there's a line on, like, gruesome death. But, like, I don't know of another culture that's, like, so much more welcoming of porn than they are in.
I think porn is slightly different than like.
But that's how I read this.
Right, because
I was like, aren't they saying
people can morally object to porn? I think because it's quite exploitative, and like the industry behind porn is very troublesome.
But you can't have, on like in a Hollywood film, like people having sex like they would in a porn film, even though it might not be as exploitative.
But again,
or
there are films that do have that. Not American films, obviously.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
obvious reasons. But like 9 Songs, I believe, is a German film
Mm-hmm.
that has. Oh no, it might actually be a German-English co-production. And there's there's French films, and they show unsimulated sex.
Yeah.
Blue is the Warmest Color is a good example. It's a French film, and it shows very graphic sexual scenes that was almost banned in America when it was there. But there's nothing wrong with other than like there's quite graphic sex scenes in the film, but it's just a standard love story.
Yeah.
And that's just part of their love story.
Yeah.
But that film was way less of a controversy
Yeah.
elsewhere.
Right. Yeah. 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 I don't know. I guess I just imagine it just sort of seems like, well, death sort of seems like part of just in everything.
Yeah.
And
But sex certainly has a stigma, especially in like very conservative countries, which I think Australia is as well.
yeah.
Like our Prime Minister loves God.
Yeah.
Him and God, big time. They're close.
Yeah. He said so.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought it's interesting to get those different perspectives. Here is another one. This is by Kiwa the Red Sox fan. Oh, wait, the Red Sox fan. CW, the Red Sox fan. Okay, I got it. People sentenced to house arrest last year really lucked out timing-wise.
Yeah, do you think they had to reverse it? Like, all right, well, no, you go outside now.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get the virus.
Yeah, you go out there. We want 20 Ks a day. Got to put a pedometer on you, and you better get those steps up.
Don't you wear a mask out there.
Yeah, I think this might be some fun advice in future. You know, if we sense a pandemic, come on, do a quick crime.
Do a little crime.
Do a little crime that's enough to get you on house arrest. And you're like, I
reckon they'd be doing house arrest more because can you add an unknown quantity into a prison full of people that can't, I reckon they'd be way more hesitant to take people in, being like, that is actually a risk factor at this point. If it's a petty enough crime,
Right.
just do a house arrest.
Yeah.
That way the infection can't come in.
let them off completely.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But like, Judge, it's a pandemic.
Yeah.
Let me off this one.
Just think about this.
Yeah.
Think about the consequences of locking me up.
I robbed one 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
What's that going to change? Nothing.
Didn't even shoot the guy in the head. I shot him in the leg.
And that's because he wasn't cooperating.
yeah. So, and I've saved his life. He's isolating in hospital. So I've saved a life, really.
Safest place to be in a pandemic, the hospital.
Yeah. I think it's a smart idea.
Yeah. It's a little life hack for you.
Yeah.
There's ever a pandemic, commit a quick crime.
Quick crime. Although, does house arrest normally go after you've... Because I know, I've known somebody that's got out of prison and then they're like on house arrest for a certain amount of time.
I mean, it changes case to case, I'm sure.
Okay.
You know.
Commit a serious crime now.
Yeah.
And then bank on a pandemic happening. So then you've lucked out.
I would dare say that they would probably extend your house arrest afterwards.
Do you reckon they would?
Because otherwise, what's the punishment?
Yeah.
They'd be like, all right, obviously everyone was at home, so you still have another year, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Judge, let me off.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I reckon they were like, no, I've done. It's like that, loophole where some lady got hanged,
Yeah.
but then survived, and she was like, I served my sentence because my sentence says that I was to be hanged, and I was hanged, and I just didn't die. And they were like, oh yeah, that's true. They literally let her off. And then after that point, they changed the wording to be you had hanged until death. Yeah.
I've also heard of a prisoner getting off because they actually they were serving a life sentence, but they had died at some point in the hospital and then been revived.
Right.
And
Yeah.
his lawyer argued that he had died. He died in prison and his sentence was over. And I believe he got overturned.
Right. Yeah. That's funny. Anyway, what were we talking about? Anyway, let's get into podnapping.
Oh my God! I'm being podnapped.
Podnapping.
This is Podnapping, where we nap a pod. We take a topic of conversation or a segment from another podcast, and we do it ourselves.
Yes. Now, this was supposed to be the trial of Dory. The trail of Dory, as my typo this week would suggest.
You did it again in the Discord.
Oh yeah. It's like
You've now committed to it.
it's a thing where my brain. I know the difference between the words, just in case anyone's wondering.
Sure you
but
do.
when I type one, my brain's like, that's the other.
I know. No, I have that with like. There's another word.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Is, I have the exact same.
I reckon
problem
everyone
with.
has it with a particular word.
Yeah.
Turns out mine is trial and trail.
Actually, what I found is when I'm typing on a keyboard and I want to say "an," I would say 80% of the time, right? And.
Right, yeah. Just a
Really
reflex,
annoying.
yeah.
And I'm trying to type "and," but my fingers are like "and." That's what you want to say. Really annoying.
But yes, we were supposed to bring Dory in to, I guess, to question her about some of her actions for starting a rival podcast. And, it's a bit of a court martial, if you will,
Yeah.
to see whether we still will deem her a fuckhead podcast listener. The highest rank of listener on this show. And very sparingly is it ever headed out.
No one's got it yet.
Unfortunately, this is Easter weekend.
Yeah.
Which means that you and I only had one chance to record, which is right now as we're doing it.
Yeah.
Fun fact, it's about 3 a.m. in Florida at the moment.
Yeah.
So we'll have to delay that. So I had to scramble together another podnapping. So this podnapping is called Fuck It, Here's Some Easter Trivia.
Oh, okay.
And I need to tell you, I've got a bunch of questions offline. Didn't vet them.
Yeah, that's fine.
And there's about 12. There's about 12.
Cool.
I don't know whether it's expected that you would know the answer to these questions.
Are there any like Christian related ones?
Yeah, there is one or two.
Oh, shit. There you go. Okay.
Anyway, this is Fuck It, It's Easter Trivia.
Okay.
Question.
What's the intro?
Fuck it, it's Easter Trivia. Dory, we're coming for you.
Good.
Question. Is more candy sold for Easter, Christmas, Valentine's Day, or Halloween? Which of those holidays sells the most candy?
Can I ask if there's a region?
I dare say, since it's
Probably
the word
candy, it's
I'm going to say
American.
American.
So we say lollies, just fun fact for all.
Or sweetie yum yums.
Sweetie yum yums.
If you come to Australia, ask for sweetie yum yums.
Yeah. Or sugar nom noms.
Sugar yum yums.
Ooh,
Or
sugar nom
yum
noms.
yummy treat time. But after this is the thing. This will make you feel like a local. When you say that, you need to go afterwards. Got some yummy sweet time.
And then they say, "Oh yes, we've got some yummy sweet times over here."
But as
people
you Americans
respond.
say, candy.
Candy.
Sure.
Okay. So I'm tossing up between. Was it specifically chocolate or just candy?
Candy.
I'm gonna have to go with Halloween.
Halloween is correct.
Oh yeah!
Here in Australia, we hardly sell any sweetie tum yum yum. For that's such a disgusting noise to make on the microphone, isn't it?
No, we go with it.
Yeah, Halloween is not so much a thing here.
Yeah. We barely have that yet.
So here,
Easter, I reckon, would be here for candy, right? You reckon?
there's walls of it here, like around Easter.
Yeah. I reckon it must be because even like Christmas, we don't really.
Valentine's
buy
Day.
Valentine's not really.
Yeah, I get you get some chocolates or whatever, but like
nowhere near as many.
roses are the main thing I think on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Christmas, I understand you get like the stockings full of treats, but
Yeah.
but that is one of many things you can get.
Yeah.
Whereas Easter is like the one thing, but Halloween in America, nothing really I think compares to the amount of.
Yeah.
Question: how many chocolate bunnies are produced each year? And I believe this is around the world.
Whoa. How many chocolate bunnies?
Yes.
Oh my Lord.
And now they've got a very round figure here, and this must be an approximation.
Yeah. Be funny if it was exactly that. Right? Okay, so it's got to be in the millions. Is it in the billions?
No.
Nah, that'd be too insane, wouldn't it?
I'll give you a hint. It's not even in the hundreds of millions.
Oh, okay. That's good knowledge. Actually, yeah, I probably wouldn't have gone to the hundreds of millions. I don't think. Tens of
Because I would say
millions.
chocolate bunnies are one of several kinds of Easter treats you can buy.
Yeah. You're not always getting
Eggs
them.
would be far bigger.
Yeah. In that case, let's just go 30 million.
Nelson, triple it. 90 million.
90 million.
90 million.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Now, this one here, I feel is a little bit subjective to the country in which I think this quiz comes from, which is America.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's necessarily verified worldwide. But where in the world is the most popular Easter parade held each year?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that feels like. Oh God, I don't know.
Because I'm sure there's some country that probably holds a huge one that maybe these people don't know about.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm going to help you localize it to America.
Okay. America, is there something that's like... See, I'm wondering if it's big because it's a super Christian thing, but then maybe the opposite of that, where it's actually not as...
But you're looking for a location.
I know, but I'm thinking like, so for example, Texas is more...
Right. Has
has
so
a
you're
higher
thinking like
percentage
the Bible
of...
Belt or outside.
Yeah, or outside, which again doesn't help
Yeah.
limit it because I'm thinking one or the other. I'm gonna get, or is it something crazy like a Disneyland does it in somewhere? Screw it. Let's say Los Angeles.
That's New York.
I
was going to say to you, think one of the two.
Yeah, damn it. yeah.
Because I don't know if Americans are aware of this, but the outside world sees America mainly in two bits.
Yeah.
LA or New York.
LA, New York, and Texas. I feel like this,
yeah,
for some
that's right.
reason
Yeah,
Texas
yeah.
is in there. Yeah.
But they think of one specific type of Texas, like just cowboys.
Yeah, that's right.
Question. While the Easter Bunny brings children eggs in the US, what sort of critter delivers goods in Westphalia, Germany? I don't think I pronounced that right.
What critter?
Yes. Delivers goods in Germany.
Ooh. Do they still have eggs? You would absolutely not know from that, I'm assuming.
No, eggs.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no, it says goods, to be fair, actually. Delivers goods in Germany.
Yeah, that's what I was like wondering because actually bunnies are mammals anyway. Why the hell are bunnies and eggs associated? I've only just realized this.
Well, because Easter is also like a pagan thing that's been, like most Christian holidays,
yeah.
it's a pagan tradition that's been bastardized into a Christian thing.
but the eggs are meant to be like rebirth, right?
But the pagan thing was about fertility.
Right.
And a lot of the imagery of Easter can also be kind of a fertility thing. In fact, it's named after a goddess of fertility.
Right, yeah.
I forget what the actual name of the goddess is.
Yeah.
But I wonder if bunnies are supposed to be like,
Because they procreate
they
a lot.
procreate a lot.
So what critter in Germany procreates? I feel like that's not a thing that I should
wouldn't go down that path.
I want to go something weird for some reason. I'm going to say like bat.
It's a fox.
Oh, fox. Okay. If I knew that a fox was breaking into my house at night and leaving me chocolates, or a bunny, I think I'd prefer the bunny.
Yeah, fox seems sneaky, doesn't it?
Yeah. Wake up in the morning and children are mauled to death.
Yeah. Along the same path, in Switzerland, what animal delivers Easter eggs to kids?
I know in Switzerland, you know what, or it might be Sweden, who knows?
This is
confused all the
Switzerland.
time. I know, but I know that they have a weird thing for, I thought it was like Santa, like their version of Santa is this weird, like mythical creature. But just in case I'm getting that wrong.
Are you thinking of Krampus?
Yeah, I think maybe it is
yeah.
Krampus. Yeah.
It's like a beast, isn't it? Krampus?
I think so. Yeah, something like that. I remember they have. It looks like a weird, like maybe troll-like or something.
Yeah.
Something weird like that. Anyway,
Less jolly.
less jolly. Yeah, but
Less
this
designed
is,
by Coca-Cola.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, but this is Switzerland anyway. I imagine it's a robotic Swiss Army knife.
It's the cuckoo.
The cuckoo.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Now, this is what I was thinking when I was kind of copying these down.
Yeah.
Is that I'm like, so they say it's a fox in Germany and a cuckoo in Switzerland, but are these really the main ones? And then this question came up, and I think it put into context. What is the traditional Easter mascot in Australia?
Oh.
Now,
And it's implying probably not
yes,
a bunny.
and the answer to this, I was like, oh yeah, but not really.
Okay.
This is something I remember from like primary school would come up every now and then. as an Australian Easter thing, and I haven't thought of it since.
I reckon when you say it, I'm going to know as well. But I'm thinking like of just animals.
Yep.
Would be
Australian mammal.
echidna, platypus, kangaroo, emu.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you said mammals, so not emu, not platypus then. And
Yeah, what
probably
is the-
not echidna.
What is the platypus? It doesn't know, does it?
It doesn't know.
It's a mammal, but it's
doesn't
in the
know.
water.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it has a specific
Yeah,
term,
it's like
doesn't
its
it?
own thing, I think,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Anywho, kangaroo then. I don't feel like kangaroo.
You're close. It's the Easter bilby.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's
But
pretty shit.
do you remember that from primary school, the Easter bilby?
Yeah, I
For those, bilby is like a little
kangaroo.
kangaroo-looking creature.
Yeah, yeah. Probably in the same family. Okay, so now the Switzerland one and the German one, I feel like is
Yeah.
not really a
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like,
And I think, like, I don't think any less of you for not getting them because I don't know if they're that. Like, we would have struggled to get Easter bilby.
yeah,
But even though when you say, you're like, oh, yeah, I guess.
yeah.
Here's a Bible one for you. In the Bible, how many days passed between Jesus' death and resurrection?
In the Bible, well, I mean, what I would say is correct is like he dies on Friday, I guess, Good Friday, and then rises on Sunday. Why do we have Easter Monday? I don't know. So how many days pass? Like one day, but I actually think it's more than that. Maybe in the Bible, let's say 5 days.
3 days.
Ah, so close. Yeah, it's funny. We've just lied to ourselves. We know it. We know it's a lie. The holidays are a lie.
But don't take away Monday, obviously.
I want that.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
Well, no, they should expand it to the full days. We get all of them as public holidays.
And then a couple more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know how this became a topic of conversation, but a mutual friend of ours, Eden, co-host of the Kansas Movie Report, was over not long ago, and we were discussing Easter, and none of us could remember how long Jesus came back for. He was dead for 3 days.
Yeah, yeah.
And how long did he come back for?
Yeah.
Which turned out to be 40 days.
Right.
Hence 40 days of Lent, I suppose.
Right.
But then I'm thinking, just give us 40 days off.
Yeah, give us 40 days off. That's brilliant. I want to celebrate him for 40 days. Yeah. I'm going to do it my own way by playing PlayStation games on the couch.
Like he would have wanted.
Yeah.
Question. Dying Easter eggs.
What happened? Wait, what happened at the end of the 40 days, by the way?
He ascended to heaven. We had to look that up too.
Yeah, cool. Just ascended? Like, why
But the
isn't
thing
that a
is,
huge thing?
it's
But it's like,
unclear-
oh my God, he literally like...
But it's unclear how that happened. Did he like float up into the sky?
Yeah.
Is it like Star Wars? Did his robes just flutter to the ground?
yeah,
You know?
yeah. He evaporated or something.
He's like, this hurts so much.
yeah.
I'm in incredible pain.
I mean, if I'm to believe this, I think what probably happened is he climbed up up a ladder into a tree, and then some people around were like, "Oh, he's gone there," and then a few other people wrote that down, and that's how that happened.
That's how it happened. Only a couple more left. Question: Dyeing Easter eggs, like dyeing and painting them, is a tradition that began in which country?
Italy.
Incorrect.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
According to this site. Actually, I did look this up again and got it verified.
Right. Can I ask then if it's a European country? Uncertain.
Well, think more like Middle Europe, I think, ish.
If only I knew my geography
Oh,
better.
actually, yeah.
England,
No.
Scotland.
No. I've really thrown you off.
It's
with-
okay.
with
I'm
that.
bad with geography anyway, Camber. You could have said anywhere.
I don't think you'll get it. Is that a
Okay.
hint?
France,
No. I don't think you'll
Germany.
get it. No, you're thinking the biggies.
Scandinavia. No, wait. I'm gonna think of a tiny one. Ireland. No. It's too big.
Too mainstream westernized.
Okay. No. Okay, I don't know.
Ukraine.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ukraine. Yeah.
Is that Middle Europe?
No idea.
Yeah, no idea.
I don't think so, actually. Oh, I don't know. Let's have a look. We're an educational
Yeah.
podcast,
Where
Cambo.
is Ukraine?
I'm using Microsoft Edge in case anybody's...
I imagine it like...
Oh, wait, Ukraine.
Yeah.
Oh, in Russia.
But like Russia... Well, Ukraine is a country.
Yeah.
But yeah. Where is Russia technically? Because Russia's kind of technically like near Asia as well, though. Like it connects to...
I need a bigger map of the world. I need a bigger map of the world. Come on. I should go to maps.
Okay.
Ukraine. Okay, so there's Russia. There's Ukraine. Yeah, so... Oh, yeah. Oh, it's on the the east side of Europe. Yeah.
Is this as bad as when we were trying to work out where the Suez Canal was last week?
Yes, that was bad.
And we got corrected, I believe, in our Discord.
Yeah, I thought it was between multiple...
Yeah, but it's just in the one country.
Jeez. Oh my god, I think there's an island called Europe. How annoying for searching stuff. No, maybe not. Anyway, yeah, it's like on the east side.
It's near Russia. That's all you got to know.
It's really... I mean, Russia's huge. But yeah. So,
that's what I mean. That's because Russia
kind
of stretches from one continent to the other. So I kind of thought that, like... That's why I wasn't sure in relation to Russia where it was.
How did Russia get so much land?
They stole it.
Bloody thieves.
I'm sure a lot of it is inhospitable.
Yeah.
So next question. There's a couple more. What bread-based snack was traditionally associated with Easter?
Is this breaded on Reddit, Cambo, or what?
Nelson, I never do that.
Bread-based snack.
Yes.
You want to say bread-based snack. I feel like, because I don't know, it's funny because I do feel like I have this Italian influence over Easter I have in my head. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually trying to think of like an Italian bread-based thing. I don't know if that's true because, I mean, I grew up with an Italian mother.
This isn't an Italian
That's
thing.
why I
that.
thought that it was, the painting of eggs was that because it's like a big thing in Italy. But, okay, so that's not, which means that you know the country that it's from.
Yep.
So I'm going to say the very obvious one is croissant.
It's a good guess. No, the answer is pretzel.
Oh, okay.
And
that's weird.
I looked this up as well. Apparently, the crossing of the pretzel, it kind of represents like the hand in prayer.
Really?
Yeah. So it wasn't necessarily designed to be an Easter thing, but apparently for a very long time, it was associated with Easter,
okay.
similar to like a hot cross bun.
Yeah. And they were like, hey guys, how about we just have chocolate eggs? Yeah. And everybody's like, yeah, chocolate's way better than bread.
And what if we have these all the time? These are sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is the name of the famous jeweler who decorated Easter eggs for royalty?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Is it a name I would know?
I think so. It's a very famous thing.
Very famous.
These kind of eggs are very famous.
Right, yeah. That's what I was wondering, whether it's like that name has stuck around for something.
There is a kind of egg that is named after this person.
Easter egg.
Yes.
His name is Easter.
It's Peter Easter.
Peter Easter.
No, Fabergé.
Oh, right. Yeah, Fabergé.
Yeah, Peter Carl Fabergé designed eggs for royalty.
Okay.
Question. Children in Finland dress as what on Easter?
Geese.
Witches.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I meant
which kind of geese?
Yeah, witchy.
And
geese
last
witches.
question. Easter's date is determined by what? Changes slightly each year.
The first week in every April, or so. The first Sunday of every April, or something like that.
There's a specific thing that happens that determines the date.
Oh, okay. So it's not just the first of something, like first day of every of that month.
It is technically the first of something, but not in the way that you're thinking.
Oh, like probably moon cycle then or
Yes,
something?
well done. The
Oh,
moon.
because it's a pagan thing. So
It is
of course it's to do with the moon. Yeah.
The first full moon on or after the spring equinox. That's how they determine the date of Easter.
Right. I wonder if that does align with roughly, because it's always, of course, on the weekend.
Yeah, there's always a certain set of dates that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Cool. Thanks for that Easter trivia, Cambo. I don't think I got one of those.
Oh, you got the first one.
What was that?
Oh, I don't remember. I remember you got it.
Okay. 1 to me. It's like golf. I won in the end. Okay. Now we can move into to the AMA.
Yay!
Where listeners of the show, just like you, listener, can write in and ask us anything you want. Don't ask us anything about Easter, though, because we don't really know that much.
We know that one thing, but we don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
We have 2 very similar themed emails here, Nelson.
Yep.
I'll read the first one, I guess.
Yeah.
It says, Gents, short and gentlemen, how do you feel about that? Less formal.
I'll see.
Okay. Gents, I'm submitting my formal application. Then you should have gone gentlemen.
Well,
If it's a formal application,
keep reading, I think.
I'm submitting my formal application for Fuckhead Podcast Listener. My application is single-fold because I know what really matters. I helped fill a section of the podcast for nearly 2 months, so you didn't have to. Zimbo.
Yeah, see, he said gents, but he signed it off Zimbo. So I think he's going for the Australian approach, which is why I may be willing to let it go.
I must say, if you want to go full Australian,
Yeah.
it's oi cunts.
Oi cunts. No, but it was formal.
Yeah, it's
You don't say oi cunts. Oi cunts when you're being
Yeah,
formal.
that's true. You say gents.
You say gents. See?
Now, we did ask people to write in if they have been nominated.
Which was
Fuckhead Podcast
only 2
Listener.
people.
Only 2 people. In which we have to approve. Now, Nelson, are we going to approve Zimbo as a Fuckhead Podcast Listener?
Here's what I think,
Yeah.
Cambo, is we're doing a trial for Dory.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps there does need to be a verbal
Here's
agreement.
Yeah.
I'm willing to...
Here's what I'm thinking, Nelson. We've yet to swear anyone in as a Fuckhead Podcast Listener.
Yeah.
And due to the actions of some, I think that it might be appropriate to have a swearing in with them
Yeah.
in which they take a pledge of allegiance
Yes.
to stop things like this happening again.
Okay. This is good.
So tentatively, Zimbo,
Yeah.
you're on the way. We're just gonna swear you in with a little pledge of allegiance.
You're so close. This is what's happened. We've asked you to come into the office to put in your application.
Yeah.
And you've gone, here's my application. And then we've gone, great, now fill out these forms and come back to us with that
But
one.
think of it like this:
essentially.
you've gone for a job interview.
Yeah.
Great. We've called you back for a second interview. That's positive.
Oh, that's
That's
good.
a good step forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that okay.
Or we're up to like the referee check sort of stage.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you're like, oh, I've practically got it at this stage. Just a little bit of extra formality.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're happy to sign and make you an offer.
Yeah.
We just got to come in and cross some T's and dot
What's
some
that?
I's.
Swear my life over? Yeah, just a little bit at the end.
Just a pledge of allegiance not to betray us, I think is fine.
Yeah.
But so let's say that ruling is official.
yeah.
Hasn't must be sworn in. That is
Yeah.
the ruling,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it has been made.
Someone's at the door, Camber. Okay, so Zimbo. Do you know what I think we should do as well? Okay. We should potentially swear Zimbo in before Dory.
I like this.
And then I think maybe in future, to become a Fuckhead Podcast listener, every previously elected Fuckhead Podcast listener is in on the
Yeah.
swearing in
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
other people. And if there's a trial that needs to happen,
They're
they're,
there.
also there. They can cast a vote.
It's a
Their
select
vote is only
elite-
1/10 of ours.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, but there are a select elite few
Yeah.
who must gather in extraordinary circumstances.
Yeah.
That's part of the oath.
Yeah. Okay. Here's another one.
Yeah.
This is from Dory. Hey guys, despite the technical difficulties, I'd say Surprise Interview Discord edition was a success. I had fun at least. Haha. So, Cambo mentioned in the episode that music was one of the things that kept him occupied during lockdown. From the start to the end of lockdown, I somehow managed to draw over 200 hours, and I also learned to play tons of songs by ear on the bass. That way, I don't need music and can just hop into almost any song. That's awesome. It's actually a lot of fun.
Playing by ear, by the way, is extremely hard, and that's extremely impressive.
Yeah. I mean, I could do it, but obviously, yeah, for normal people. My question for y'all is, was there a hobby you wanted to pick up during quarantine but never got around around to it. Mine was trying to learn more of the Thai language. Alas, I still only know basic phrases that you need to know when visiting Thailand, like, I don't speak Thai, or where is the bathroom? Anyway, I'm glad you all survived the most recent lockdown. Have a good one. Then she signed it off. Fuckhead podcast listener Dory. Now, she did submit her application before this, and we had kind of said at the time that was only a formality. But some controversy has stirred since then.
And the best thing about this show is we literally make all the rules to be whatever we want.
Yeah, that you have to agree to the rules in your swearing in, and obviously part of that is that we can change the rules at any time. But okay. So lockdown. Did you wanted to pick up a hobby but never go around to it?
Yeah, I feel like there was some basic lockdown hobbies that people did. Banana bread was one of them. People baking a lot of banana bread.
Yeah,
but we both worked full time during the lockdown, so I feel like a lot of those hobbies kind of passed both of us by.
Yeah, that's right. I definitely didn't really have extra time to do stuff.
Yeah, I read a lot.
Right.
That's something that I never intended to do in lockdown and just ended up doing.
Yeah.
So, because I had wanted to read more last year. The year previous, I think I had read 10 or 11 books.
Yeah.
I thought, well, maybe I'll try and beat that. And I ended up reading like 34 books. I was like, is a lot more. You know?
Yeah.
Went up substantially.
Yeah.
It's back down again this year. No.
Yeah, that's right.
But on that vein, I did think maybe this would be a better time to do more writing. And I did almost no writing whatsoever.
Yeah, that's right. It is definitely funny, I think. I think there would have been a big difference if, I wasn't working.
Yeah.
And stuff that I've wanted to do. Like, actually, I wouldn't mind writing a bit more.
No, that's my thing now.
Well.
You can't do writers.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous. Yeah. Well, there's already so many stories in the world.
Yeah.
What's the point of adding more? Think about this. You couldn't read every story in your life within the extent of your life. Existence. So everyone should just stop writing stories. There's already enough, guys. Yeah. Probably movies too. Songs? Let's all stop.
Stop.
All right?
Stop.
Stop working on other stuff. God, it's unnecessary. Yeah, I think, but I think if I was to, writing would definitely be one. I've always said programming. Programming is a big one. Like, I've always really wanted to get more into it. And there'll be times where I'm motivated and I'll do it and I'll learn a bit and I'll sort of understand it, but I have no project to go on with. So I think, if I had way more time and I could for weeks be like, okay, every day I'm going to do a couple hours, I think I would have progressed further than I have before in my life. But yeah, so that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do for the next lockdown.
The inevitable next lockdown.
Yeah. And yes, so thank you for that, Dory and Zimbo. If you would like to write into us, you can do so. readitpodcast, readitpodcast @gmail.com. You can also reach us at Facebook, Twitter, and our subreddit. They're all readit podcast.
We'd also love it if you could review the show. Leave us 5 stars on whatever podcast app you are. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking now, if people do it, I'm just going to read out the reviews as they come in.
Okay.
This one's not great. It says 5 stars, but why is it rated everybody?
I don't get that.
No, I'm not sure what it means.
I did see that during the week.
It's also by someone whose name is just a bunch of colons and semicolons.
Yeah.
So thank you for the 5-star review. We love it. It's the best review we've ever seen.
So good.
Of that.
Yeah. If you could tell us what that's in regard to.
We don't quite know what it means, but if you write a review, we'll read it out.
Yeah.
Or if anyone else wants to leave a 5-star review explaining this 5-star review, we're all for that too.
That'd be great. If it could just be a series of people
if you want to rate other people's 5-star reviews in our 5-star reviews.
No. But don't rate us 5 stars.
Yeah. But review other people's 5-star reviews.
Because I don't want people to be like, oh, that other 5-star review was rubbish, 1 star.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with the podcast. Just, you give the 5 stars and then down below, you do 1/5 or however many you I think that's the way you should do it.
But the 5-star
And then
rating
this
is
for-
non-negotiable.
Yeah. Start with 5-star rating, then rate something. You say however many stars, and then this is for the rating, the review of, then insert their name. And
Done.
That'd be great.
Bob's your uncle.
That'd be great. But that's it. So thanks for listening, and we will read you later.